Alright, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. How's everyone doing? Apologies for the lateness. Yeah, you will be. Yeah, my sincerest apologies. I got caught up at a bit of a family event, so things took a lot longer than I expected, and I wasn't rude enough to say, fuck you and your dinner. I've got to go stream. So, apologies. I binge you all off for my family. Okay, so time to teach the monkeys some new tricks. Cheers, Blemspielt. The spaghetti incident. Kind of. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, family first this time, I get it. It's probably a bit inconsiderate of me, lifeblood and all that. YouTube subs are thicker than water. Or thicker than blood, or whatever the saying is. But anyway, how's everybody doing? Are we all winning? Are we all enjoying this crazy market of wild games? I like to get a bit of a sentiment analysis at the start of it. How did you get this spaghetti chart? We coded it up in the Paragon. And it's basically got a ton of different views of the old spaghetti. And you can see what compromises the indexes. Compromises? Yeah, that's kind of the right word. Comprises, that's the word that I'm looking for. Very complex English word. But you have to excuse me. I've just walked up the stairs, which is quite a tiring task for BTC Charlie, unfortunately. Levels of fitness, not what they were before October. First day a new job, interviewing for 2 months, and it's dog shit. Oh shit, sorry man. That's not great. But I guess that's why we're all trading crypto. Escape the rat race, live the dream, all of that kind of stuff. I mean, what a time to be trading it. What an incredible time. I jest, of course. Personally, I've been pretty bored the last few weeks. I've really wanted to, hammer the trading and really just go hard and take lots of trades and produce loads of content. But to be honest with you, there's not huge amounts to say. Reasonably, we are sat in a very clean range that we've been in for a while. And yes, we had a bit of a deviation at this low, where we actually swept this here. And we've had a reasonable move off of that low. But it's not been wild on spaghetti. A few outliers like everyone's favourite, TRB. The old DWF special. Casual 2.5x in a few days. And there's been some nice moves, particularly in AI and memes. Like, AI and memes just seem to be the kind of in play. You can kind of see it on here. Oracle, obviously, that's comprised mostly of, what's it called, TRB. Yeah, it's all TRB, isn't it? Oh, a bit of mask. Fair enough. Yeah, it's not been too exciting, has it? It's not been great. Boring equals getting other things done. Yeah, exactly, Kevbot. Like, this is the thing, is like, so many people use this time badly. I'm probably using this time badly to stream, but I kind of don't want my YouTube channel to die. So I should try and keep it alive during these dull times. Because when I did it the other week, I had like 20 people there. I was like, well, this is fucking pointless, isn't it? But, yeah. We soldier on. We find different things to do. Personally, I've been spending some time coding a few things. So I've got like a range indicator coming out. I've got a scanning indicator coming out. I've got a few bits and pieces that we're kind of working on to try and get things just a little bit slicker. And the main reason for that is that when better times come, because they will come back, right? Doesn't matter whether it's today, tomorrow, 6 weeks, 6 months, I don't care, right? Chances are I'm still going to be here, whether it's as active as I am now or not, I don't know. We'll kind of see as time goes on, to be honest. But You know, my daughter's still in school. There's not really much more for me to do during term time in particular. Like, you know, I quite like trading. I sit at the PC, I'll play computer games, I'll build some stuff, I'll chat to people, whatever. But from a trend perspective, like, it's hard to think that this is done and that it's over and that this is it. This was the parabola. This was the, you know, reiteration of Bitcoin being hard money, and that parabola was basically it, right? Could be a quite entertaining outcome that, you know, that's a cycle in and of itself, and basically since then we've had a little bit of ranging, and that now we've still got, like, from a 3-day perspective, market structure still isn't great, right? Which is probably why, especially if we close like this, which is probably why, like, most alts haven't been, like, turbo risk on in terms of low time frame rotations. But there has been a proportion that has wildly outperformed BTC, and we have had a really nice move off the lows. It doesn't really matter how you try and you know, present that. Like, a 43% move on a pretty liquid coin is incredible, like ignoring TRB, because you smash orders in that, it just cuts through it like a hot knife through butter. But, you know, there's some really nice liquidity in this market. Sorry, really nice volatility in this market. Greetings from London. Ah, yes, I will do that giveaway later. Thank you for reminding me, Jace. Like the stream. Cheers. Cheers, John. Yeah, if you hit like, if you don't hit like, you're rude. That's how I always think of it. If there's like 100 people watching and 2 likes on a stream, I always think, fucking hell. There's like 98 people who are just rude. So let's look at some charts, shall we? So Bitcoin really fucking boring at the moment. Like, if that was the end of it, then great. We had a nice run. I posted something up here which was, you know, if you cashed out if the bull market ended here, would you be happy with what you cashed out? And everyone's like, ooh, you're a dickhead, Charlie. You can't cash out. No one cashes out of crypto. You know, bosh. Whole market's down, like, you know, most alts are down like 40% from the highs. You know, you do have to cash out at some point. We talked about it on stream, actually, in terms of the parabolic move and, like, breaking that structure, and just, it's been pretty shit since then, really. I mean, there's still been some decent trades, which, I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't really caught, because I haven't been super active in terms of trying to trade the chop. I've caught a couple of decent trades on the short side, so I caught a really nice whiff short, which, you know, I've closed a lot of that down here somewhere. I didn't close it down here, sadly. I was a bit greedy with it, but we'll come on to whiff in a bit. But, you know, you have to take profits at some point, and there's always another trade, right? There's always going to be another trade at some point, whether that's the long or short side, who knows? You know, I prefer longs. I prefer trading in the environments where, you know, altcoin. Sorry, I'm just trying to balance the music. Is the music all right if I leave it like that? Is that too low, too loud? Is that blasting your ears off? What money to cash out? No cash out needed if you were liquidated, 2022. It's perfect. Great. Perfect. We'll leave it like that then, so there's a little bit of ambience when I'm not, you know, chatting. Yeah, for me, it's really easy. Like, I want to be bullish, and I want to long everything, but I don't want to try and knife catch. I don't want to just blindly take, you know, setups on what I think is going to be the bottom, because that's not how I trade. I trade off strength. We'll come to a setup like that on Near, actually, which worked out really well from last Thursday's stream in the Paragon. Perfect. Cool. Music all good. Cheers. But, like, there is literally this beautiful pivot on Bitcoin right now, and for me it's as simple as, until we flip above it, I'm just going to be cautious, and when we start getting those really strong moves above, then I'll start backing into alt rotations again, you know, be looking for us to take out this range high and looking for the next leg up. But until that changes, my view is still that it's a reasonably risk-off environment on BTC, and, you know, alts are good for rotations and kind of nothing more. Like, I don't want to go balls deep in some high cap majors. I'm quite happy to put in a couple of ETH or a few sol into some low caps and see where they go and piss around with those, right? But I'm not of the opinion that I'm just gonna put 10% of my portfolio in sol and let it ride. Like not from here anyway. We'll come on to sol, but sol BTC is pretty strong. And I charted sol ETH earlier, and my notifications blew up because Ansem retweeted it, which is very kind of him. But I fail to see the obsession that people have with longing ETH when the sol ETH chart has been up only for such a long period of time. Like, that was a market downtrend, and now that we're kind of shifting, up a gear back into an uptrend, like there's no reason to be particularly bearish this chart, right? From like a sol ETH perspective, it looks like it just wants to keep going up. So I don't know why people want to take the ETH long over Solana. And this is one of my kind of key thought processes at the moment is, right, on the assumption that we are going to get another leg in the market, which I believe we will at some point. I don't know if that's now. I don't know if we're going to close above here and start really pushing for the highs, or if we're going to get some form of significant move down and continue the structure to the downside, right? Because I was looking at this last week in terms of like this move here, which we've cleaned this diagonal trend line up a bit, and if we start coming back down and actually we take out this area here, like, that becomes very attractive in terms of a place to bounce from, and that would have punished alts even more, which most of them look pretty fucking dire, to be honest. Like oh yeah, I got fully round tripped on this because I was short from up here, and then I piled into it and like compounded the short. I was actually short from up here because it was a nice simple range setup, and failed to break out, and printed a lower high there, and I added down here and brought my position down, but yeah, fully round trip there, which was nice. Yeah, I think a lot of alts would suffer quite dramatically, and it would present a nice swing opportunity for said next leg. But I imagine a lot of people are looking at this. And one thing I did last week that I can't really be bothered to change is I made massive boxes, because everyone seems to do it. It makes it a little bit more like idiot proof. Do you know what I mean? So if we sell off into that, that's when I'm going to be bidding with significant size, and I'm happy to try and catch a bottom on the way up, on the basis that we get a capitulation wick and that we start moving, right? I want a strong sell-off with volume that just goes like that, and I want to start seeing that bid just flying off the back of it. But yeah, I'm just like, the way I'd put it really simply to people is, I'm interested in trading Bitcoin here or above here. Like, that's it. Like, I'm not particularly interested in it here. I could take a short, but it's pretty like late in the day in terms of structure to be taking it. Although it is quite clean. From a momentum perspective, struggled with that one, didn't I? We've hit the 50 on the daily twice, and not really done much. There isn't a divergence. In fact, it's the other way in terms of it's getting weaker or stronger to the downside, I should say, in terms of momentum. Like, it's not looking great. The very simple rule is we are bullish above the 50, bearish below it. So not a terrible place to get short, but I don't want to take it just because of how drawn down we are from those highs already. So really, I want to see strength into this, or a sell-off into this, and play the long side. So sometimes I'm sat on my ass waiting for nothing. Or I'm not waiting for nothing. I'm often waiting for something to come out of this. Something to tell me, Charlie, there's a trade opportunity on here. LDO, why is that strong? Well, have a look at LDO actually. I haven't actually seen that rotation for a while. LDO, yeah, pretty fucking boring. pretty strong. But really, let's go back to the daily time frame. What a fucking choppy and messy little chart. See, like a lot of coins after this like daily capitulation down here back on the 13th, wherever it was. Like they've come out of this range. LDO hasn't, so it's a bit of an odd one to show strength. So I'm not particularly interested in it here. Now, if this was up here, like breaking out of this range, if it was there, I'd be tempted to jump in along and play some of that strength with something like this, you know, start the rotation to the upside. But it's not. Like I can't get excited about that. But anyway, let's go back to BTC. So yeah, 2 areas where I want to trade from. Simple as that. Sit and wait. Nothing more to do. ETH BTC, you know, again, strong downtrend. Sold BTC, flipping, big, high time frame, pivotal level. Good. Hopefully it can close above and actually break up. And off we can go with Sol BTC. Sol ETH, similar thought process. But some of the alts that we've looked at, generally, so Doge, I talked about Doge before. I really want to get back in on Doge. And it's really playing with my level that I wanted to get in at again, because I had to close a lot of this because that was a decent position for me, a decent sized position, and I don't want to just sit and round trip it all. You know, it was sizable, so I had to be semi-sensible and not just play it to its final potential play out. Bitcoin is kind of distributing or ranging for the next leg up, and I don't like the 50-50 odds of break up versus breakdown, to be blunt. And nice strong reaction from Doge and a lot of other memes, to be fair. But yeah, I've sized off around this. But if we can start showing some strength, I'd love to take that trade again. I'd love to get back in with same size, but a slightly tighter stop, and play the next leg of Doge and other memes. But it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it's going to be particularly fruitful. Near was one that we talked about in Paragon, where actually I did give a setup around like the lows, because it's a bizarre coin, Near. I find that Near moves like almost by itself. So like when we had the strong sell-off here and here, like it was one of the fastest to V-reverse. We also had this kind of move up here, which I think caught most of the market by surprise, and this, like, it's actually had a really strong recovery into this move and into this high time frame resistance, and then this kind of consolidation here was similar to this pattern down here. So much stronger sell-offs, obviously, but that whole like consolidation after strong sell-off, consolidation, and just I don't know what that pattern's called. It's just literally range, but messy range, hence do that, and strength after it. Oh god, there's a few questions. Yeah, so that was quite good. Obviously it's now at a pretty decent high time frame resistance, but it does actually look quite good compared to the rest of the market for another leg, a cool sort of cleaner leg up to like $10. So I'm very much, I want to get on board. I want to see some strength from Near. Pepe is an interesting one as well. For that next leg, for that next play, because we've basically got this low time frame range, which you could see was on here from my outlook earlier. Did it a day later this week because let's plug into Liam. Yeah, whoops. Because we had a UK bank holiday yesterday, so I've been very social, which isn't like me. But there you go. So we've clearly tried to sort of push this resistance a couple of times, really not liking it. If you just VRVP it and you go at this area here, the fact that we aren't really pushing and testing those lows is great from a structure perspective. I really want to see a little bit of low time frame strength and get on what I think is going to be the kind of breakout leg of Near. So if we had any form of low time frame relative strength here, I would absolutely love to be a part of a Near rotation, because I think once it does break out, it's going to go for that next leg. and it's going to be quite a kind of violent breakout. And we saw it earlier with this wick. So, you know, clearly trying to break out. Being swatted down for now. But when you start getting into a profile like that, you know, hardly anything to kind of stop it. Whereas, you know, here, you're... Let's go zoom in a little bit. Just so that we are, you know, looking at this range. Let it recalculate. Yeah, this is the point of control. Once we kind of clear that and get above it, I think it's going to be plain sailing. But I do really want to see some strength. Low time frame on it. Whoa, quite a few questions. I'm just going to jump to them. Doge and RLC I'm keen on. Yeah, I mean, I really like Doge. Doge is kind of like the upside of Doge that a lot of people, you know, not get upset about, but they criticize it, is that it's an old meme. And, you know, you can make better returns on newer memes, and it's very true. You can. Of course you can. And, you know, buying $200 of Dogecoin Inu that's 100k market cap is probably going to give a much, much, much better return if it does run than, you know, Doge going 5, 10, 15%. But you can get filled on Doge with size, and yeah, it's just better for bigger positions, is how I would bluntly put it. I'm not so sure about RLC. I haven't looked at RLC in a while. I'm gonna have to long this, aren't I, with a little bit. Otherwise, I'm gonna be annoyed. It's gonna be one of those times where, is it even on here? Yeah, it's not doing too badly, but it's not like, it's not completely okay, so I'm trying to line up this little dot. Oh, I said the dot. Trying to line up that. Let's tell me what's going on. Memes, CHC, bizarrely, LDO. Again, don't really get that. We looked at that chart, not particularly interesting. Yeah, so Near's here, not particularly wonderful. I'd like to see it a little bit stronger than just you know, getting carried by general Bitcoin beta. But okay, Sarah. If you see this, really want to join Paragon to work on my trading, but was wondering if you guys have any guys that focus on chain trading. No, we don't really. Like, I do a bit of on-chain trading, but I don't share all my stuff in there, to be blunt, guys, because a lot of it's really risky, and I feel really bad. Like, my hit rate on-chain is not great, right? Like, I don't even know. I don't want to give a statistic. It's probably something like 20%, right? 20, actually maybe it's a bit higher. Maybe it's about 30%. I did like, not a portfolio, but I did like 6 coins that I called, and I was like, here's 6 AI coins, all low caps, or like low to mid caps, right? This was back at the start of the AI run, POW being one of them. What were they all? POW, Layer AI, well, I'm trying to think of all in Palm, SWAT, I'm trying to think. But the short version was that SWAT one, last one, Rugged, went to 0. Another one, Guardian AI, that was it. They went to 0. Palm went like 9x. POW went like 40x. And Layer AI went like 7x, I think. So, and there was one more as well, but that did reasonable returns. It was like 5 or 6x. So you can imagine if you were the guy that put your money in POW, you're like, fucking hell, this Charlie guy's a genius. Whee, let's go. Printing money left, right, and center, loving life. If you were the guy who put your money in SWAT, you're going, this Charlie's a fucking serial rugger, mate. He just sent me all my money down the fucking pan. And it's like, yeah, that's low caps. Like, I've put money in low caps. Some of them go somewhere, some of them go absolutely fucking nowhere. Like, it's one of those. So, on chain, I do it. I do share some stuff. I don't share all the stuff because it's super high risk, and I'm always very conscious that people in there are paying to learn to trade, and it's kind of not trading, it's gambling. You know, there's a lot of on-chain that is very good, and there's a lot of it that's very risky. So I hope that answers your question, Jabba. And, you know, if I was being a standard quote-unquote paid group leader, I'd say just join it and find out, man. But that's my honest, like, opinion. You know, I'm not going to try and sit here and sell you something that it fucking isn't. There's hours and hours and hours of educational content in there. There's some on-chain stuff, but not much at all. It's definitely not like an on-chain snipers group. It's much more a perp and spot trading and order flow and general market, general crypto market group. What about Vanry? Yeah, we can talk about Vanry. So Nia, we'll leave Nia there. I'll talk about Pepe next, and then we'll talk about Vanry. Because this was my thought process going into today, was that we'd get a nice rotation on Pepe, and that the Pepe strength would kind of continue. So like, I'll just chunk my thought process down for you, like high time frame to low time frame. So you can probably see it, right? Real simple. Let's take all the drawings off and just start again. Like, and we won't use my shitty big rectangles. You can basically see this in terms of a high time frame kind of pivot. If you look at, maybe move it up a little bit. If you look at that, and then you look at this, and you look at how those kind of candles closed, and that's literally it. Like, resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, because it just kept getting battered down. Like, it's quite, it's a very pivotal level, right? Price is reacting to these levels, and this morning what I wanted to see was a bullish reaction to said level. Like, it doesn't have to be to the penny, right? I'm not trading off like a high time frame line that I've drawn by doing this, right? It's just an area of interest to give me an idea of where price might pivot around, because typically it's done that before. Low time frame range, breakout, nice breakout, and then basically fully retrace, and that's it, job done. Could we get it again? Yeah, absolutely. Actually, Pepe is looking pretty reasonable, I think. Oh, maybe not. Nah, it's not looking great. It was looking okay in the earlier rotation, but again, it's just to give you an idea of when you load up the chart, what's an interesting pivotal point to base your kind of trade invalidation around. So yeah, Pepe's still quite high on my radar though, because of that level and because of the strength that it's shown. I think it will have another rotation, but let's wait for the market to tell us that that's happening. Alright, I'm not going to preempt it. Vanry, so Vanry's been okay. I mean, Vanry's one that I've been in for a while. Oh, hello, Palm. Fucking hell. That's a pretty nice candle, isn't it? Our market's fucking, like, dying on its ass. That's like 1/2x off the lows. But anyway. What are we doing? We were doing Vanry, weren't we? Bosh. Alright, that was the original position. Yeah, I mean, it's basically been in a downtrend for a little while. I talked about it a lot in terms of this range and this consolidation. Honestly, I expected it to just kind of continue. I thought that this was going to be the consolidation before the next leg up. Obviously, you can tell from here it wasn't, and there was also this real nice retest if you actually wanted to get on the short side and hedge any kind of spot position that you had. But really, this reaction from the lows is pretty good. It's better than a fair few altcoins out there. But equally, it's not the strongest, right? It is not the strongest performer at all. I can't lie and say that, oh my god, it's the absolute most incredible performer out in the market, because it's just not. But that is a very clean range, if ever I've seen one. And this breakout retest is pretty nice. So I'm still owning a fair amount of Vanry. In fact, I'm holding a fuck ton of Vanry. Far more than I should. But again, like looking at this as just a range. Like, I don't like playing this kind of setup because it's just a breakout and a retest, right? In an uptrend, I'd be up for that, right? So if we had like ignore this price action, if we'd done this and done that, and we'd broken out and retested it, and the high time frame trend or medium time frame trend, I suppose, because this is what, a month, 2 months maybe, was up, then I'd be much more comfortable taking that. But it's not, right? We've had a strong sell-off. We've broken out of this range, shown a bit of strength, but we haven't, you know, really blasted off. This would be quite an aggressive trade from my perspective. Like, I wouldn't want to enter a trade here, but equally I'm not selling here, so it's a bit of a, it's one of those. Oh, hello Chris. That's a few questions, isn't it, my friend? Let's go. Yeah, not really much to say on Bannery. I'm just going to wait and see how it plays out, to be honest. So, I don't have time to follow the whole stream now. I'm going to watch back later. I've got 2 questions if you don't mind. 1. Do you feel like we are in for another run on AI coins, assuming the general market goes back into an uptrend, of course? Yeah, I think AI, we've seen it, and I think it's also less important what I think. It's more important what the market thinks. So if you start thinking about, if you start looking at like this, how's the best way to view this? Spaghetti 1 week, 15 minutes, probably the best way. So we had, you know, AI, it's probably, yeah, I've not set the labels up particularly well, but that's AI, and that's AI. Like, AI has been, you know, very, very good performer for the last couple of weeks. You know, most of the market is down, AI is pushing up. Like, this trend with the Nvidia earnings and Nvidia looking like, Nvidia looking like this. You know, I don't see why AI wouldn't have another run. Will it be as good as the first run? Absolutely not. Will you need to manage profits? Absolutely. One of the trades I went over this morning around AI was surprisingly AI, and this thought process around, you know, resistance, and it's a bit murky when you go back here. But, you know, support-ish, resistance-ish, support-ish, support, like, it's a little bit janky, which is why the box is like massive. Support. Gets a bit cleaner over here, but, you know, there's quite a lot around that level of price action, and it is actually quite clean over here. You know, first consolidation, resistance, blast through, which is what you want to see, right? When price breaks through a resistance, you normally get a really clean move. Really clean, which is what that is. And now we're coming back to retest. The difference between like this and Bannery is it's very on meta. It's literally called AI. It's sold off pretty strongly, but we've had quite a lot of low time frame confluence to say that AI is, you know, on point. So I can't see why AI, the literal ticker, wouldn't be strong. So when you say things like, do I expect AI to have another run? I mean, you can literally see it. We talked about layer AI actually last stream, I think, down here in this sell-off, and the fact that like this was a strong downtrend, we got a nice little move, and now we've had another move off the lows. Like, AI has been pretty strong. And let's have a look at PAL as well. Again, PAL, like, you know, these moves off the lows, you know, really, really strong. I didn't realize PAL went to 0.27. Sheesh. You know, they're pulling off like nearly 2x's since the lows. So we looked at PAL, we looked at Palm. Palm's, yeah, ridiculous. Really, really strong. Really, really strong. You know, 130% off the lows. Like, there's definitely an appetite for AI. Like, definitely an appetite. But how long will it last? Don't know. Will it be as strong as the first AI run? I sincerely doubt it. You know, we saw in the first AI run projects rebrand to AI, and that's because they were rebranding to the meta. They were rebranding to what was in play and what would hopefully get them a bit more attention and a few more people chucking money at them. And it worked, right? It really worked. But I don't think we'll see that. I think it's quite saturated in that respect. I think there are some AI coins that are going to do well. I think there are some AI coins that will, you know, recover. AIT is one that is just not. Like, look at it. Absolute downtrend. Hopefully, this here is that consolidation before the next leg up. And we get that classic, you know, S3, S4, and then we get that move up again. That's what I'm hoping. But reasonably, it's not happened so far, right? Zero strength. And there is actually more price action before this chart. Because I remember when it was chonking down at like 0.2. So it did look like that. But, you know, this isn't a particularly strong chart. You know, you'd want to see, I personally wouldn't be buying the consolidation. I'd buy the breakout over the consolidation, but that's just me. Yes, in answer to your question, I do think there will be another AI run. No, I do not think it will be as good as it was. What's Ocean doing? That used to be quite good. But yeah, I think basically heading into Nvidia earnings call on the 22nd of May, I think it is. Like, yeah, this is a ridiculous looking chart. Very strong sell-off, very strong recovery. Is it perhaps too simple to expect Doge to have another real run this cycle? When we look back a few years ago, it did not have competition from any other big memes like Pepe. That's a good question. The honest answer, which, you know, I always try to be honest and not pretend to be some sort of guru, is nobody knows. I think Doge has a lot going for it in terms of the originality meme. I think in terms of Twitter teasing and integration, I think it's got that going for it. I think if Doge got to $1, you know, or anywhere near $1, or even looked like it was going to go to $1, like, it would just be, you know, absolute crazy time, which obviously it did before it got to 70 cents. Obviously a very different regime from a global markets perspective, but also the thing that, you know, I'll always kind of point out on Doge is in the initial run-up, we actually had the initial breakout here, breakout 1, the second run, which was this, and then we had the third and final crazy run, which was this, right? And I'm not saying it's going to happen like that again, because obviously it was COVID, they were printing trillions of dollars and pumping it into the markets, yada yada yada. Very different regime. Like you said, Doge was one of the only memes out there. Like, there was Doge, there was SHIB, there was Floki, there wasn't really much else. Now there's Pepe, there's Whiff, there's Bowden, there's all this shite that gets launched every single day. So is there a liquidity saturation? Yeah, absolutely. And an attention one as well. Like, attention is just so scattered that it's very difficult to get and glean attention just onto one coin, because there's fucking 200, 300,000 of them now, whatever there is. You know, it didn't used to be like that. It used to be like 7,000 coins or 2,000 or 3,000 coins on CoinMarketCap, right? Unironically, we were so early. But do I expect Doge to do well? Yeah, I think if the market does well, I think Doge does well. I think Doge will always be good, highly liquid, good beta to Bitcoin. But if you want to 20x your money, you know, go play the Sol Casino. Not a question, more of a statement. I'm betting big on AI and meme combo Pepe coin. Original Pepe from 2016 AI narrative. Yeah, that's fair. Like, that's your money, gamble with what you want. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you're right or wrong. I don't really have an opinion on what the next big narrative will be. I think SocialFi is the current in-play narrative. So if you're playing things like Friend USDT, haven't really looked at the chart, to be blunt with you. Wow, what a fucking beautiful chart that is. What the fuck is that? I might actually have use. There you go. Just a big fucking box. Took me 7 years of trading to draw that box. Nah, I'm joking. Yeah, fuck knows. I think there's some merit to SocialFi in general, but obviously that's not very actionable. Can you have a look at Kai? Of course. I don't know which one is going to be better, so we'll just have a peep at both. Now, obviously, this isn't. It's got a slightly more price action. It's not really doing much. It's not necessarily a bad thing for low caps. Again, this depends on your kind of trading style and how you want to enter positions. I quite like having some form of invalidation in terms of momentum and in terms of relative strength usually, but it's quite hard with like illiquid. Well, not illiquid. These are low liquidity coins, right? Like, look at it. You can see all the wicks. You can just see how volatile it is. I know this is like MEXC, but yeah, it's reasonably like illiquid compared to something like Doge or Bitcoin or ETH, right? And that's the risk you take. The upside is that in a day you can get, you know, 40% moves, you know, a couple of times a week, whatever. I've got a fat bag of Kai. I think it's a good meme. I think if we're going to get another meme run, I think cats do well. You know, I think having something like this in terms of, you know, just simple trends, I think simple trends work really well on altcoins that are not illiquid. I keep saying illiquid. The liquidity is actually pretty decent on Kai for a Solana meme coin. But yeah, I've talked about Kai quite a lot. I got most of my bag at 0.30, so I'm up, you know, significantly on it now. I think it was 0.30. Yeah, it must have been. Maybe it was like 0.36 or something. So, you know, I'm up multiples, like basically 3x, and was up 6x at the highs. Do you know what I mean? So take everything with what I'm saying as a pinch of salt. Have a bag. Was in earlier. Blah, blah, blah. Buy my coins and push it higher. But I don't think there's too much to worry about in terms of it's not necessarily running as hard as you want it to. That's fine, you know, at this point. This is a nice, hopefully, start of a new fresh run. See if it can run the highs. You know, there's a lot of like big accounts behind it. There's a lot of people. You know, Crypto McDuck is very, very smart lad and very good meme artist. So yeah, I've got a bag, and if memes run as hard as they have been, and we actually get a proper risk on in terms of, I mean, look, the market's fucking starting to dump and it's just starting to send. So it's, you know, it's difficult to just be like, oh, I'm super bullish or bearish here, because we've basically been consolidating for a little while. Yeah, load up the hourly and it looks alright. Breaking a downtrend, starting to move up. Just send it to like $5, $6 or something. That'd be great. Can I show you the settings for my background in TradingView? No, I paid like thousands of dollars for this, mate. You think I'm joking? I'm invested a lot in that coin, guy. So I will always say, like, when people say like, oh, I'm invested in loads in that, it's like, hopefully not an amount that you would actually worry about, and hopefully not an amount that you're like checking the price every day and being like, oh, what's going on with it? Because with meme coins, like, you can wake up one day and just find out like that. So I had one that I put like a couple of ether in the other day, and I woke up and it was just bosh, zero. And I'm not saying Kai will do that, right? No, not at all, and that's fine for me. Like, the risk I took is always calculated. I don't care about it. But like, if you're sweating over low caps, you're probably overexposed, would be my point. And that doesn't mean dump on my head, right? But it does mean like evaluate your position size and how much you're checking it and where you're wrong. And, you know, I'm happy to hold bags for longer than I should. Like, my risk is reasonably high. I managed to save my broke ass for April and covered the rent, amen. Nice, mate. Yeah, I mean, it really did for me as well, in terms of like a lot of my spot portfolio was just fucking dying on its ass. And whatever my buys were, you know, it was just like, it just ran. it carried my Solana portfolio. Absolutely carried it. Right. Bear with me one moment. See if this shit works. My what is it? My quant has sent me hopefully the wallets of a giveaway. Those volatile moves on low liquidities are both a blessing and a curse. Yeah, that's exactly it. They are a blessing and a curse, and that's the, that's the big not problem of it. I guess it's you're playing it for the volatility, and then when it goes against you, you dislike that volatility. But when it goes for you, you love it, right? And you realize that like that's what you're playing for, but yeah, it's tough. Right. I've got to do a giveaway. And I bought like $1,000 of whatever it was, London. And said I'd do the giveaway. Now my quant has scraped all of these. So I'm just going to do it live because I don't want there to be any bullshit around, what wallets won and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not even sure what it's at the moment. I'm not even sure how I'm gonna fucking tell, to be honest. I hope it like comes up and like points at the fucker, otherwise I'm screwed. Right. Got one. Bosh. I think it was 4. We added $250 each, so I'll send them after this. Give away some money. So what I'm gonna try and do when I talk about like low cap memes is just be like, right, I'm gonna give some away to people. So that then it kind of makes me feel better that even if it fucking goes to 0, then, at least some people have had a chance to just sell some for free. I don't really know what the rules are on Twitter these days either. Like, are you allowed to just talk about any old coins? I see like all sorts of shit these days, man. Everyone just fucking seems to talk about anything. And to be honest, I think that's the way it should be. I mean, you talk about stuff. If it goes to fucking 0, there we go, we've done it. So I've saved those for, and I'll send the winners $250 of London each. Yeah, like I think as long as you're upfront about the risk and reward, and you say, look, this is a fucking low cap project. It's very risky. If you don't like risk, it's not for you. Then who gives a shit? Nice system giveaway. Yeah, cheers, mate. No, I didn't win. That's rigged. I mean, if you knew your wallet, mate, then fair play. You're fucking Rain Man and you're going to make it. Hey, Hugh. How's it going? So yeah, what I'm going to try and do is do a few more of those. And we'll just try and do like $500 every now and again. And $1,000 of like memes and stuff like that. So we'll just make it a little bit more spicy. And we'll try and do it with like the chat. And we'll do it in the chat. And we'll get people to dump their wallets like live or something like that. When we got a few more people in there and do stuff like that. Give back a little bit, as opposed to just, well, I suppose I'm giving back my time, but, yeah, a little bit of an incentive, a financial one. A pure, real financial one, as opposed to just non-financial advice, which is obviously what this is. Yeah, like Myro's the same in February. Yeah, Myro was fucking great. Like, I basically woke up and longed Myro fucking months, and then I longed this. And got cucked by it, but like Myro just ran like a bitch, like just went whatever it was from these lows, 6-7x, but on really good liquidity. So yeah, is it going to run again? Yeah, potentially. Not been the strongest meme, but yeah, Be nice to see it running them. Right, has anyone any questions or anything like that? Otherwise I'm gonna shoot off. So TLDR, we're waiting on BTC. Big boxes. Simple. Over, under, buy down here, buy up here. Really looking for some strength on near. Be a nice little rotation if we can get it. Particularly on this little low time frame, like, run. But no strength yet. Like, market seems to be dying off a little bit. And the only thing that's holding up is that motherfucker TRB. So we can look at TRB, but TRB is quite a hard coin to trade with any forward decent size, to be honest with you. Where is it? Turb. Yeah, I could be tempted on another run. Just like literally longing into this. Preferably somewhere up here a little bit. Because it has sold off and like instantly reclaimed. I'd probably be a bit more aggressive, to be honest, and just start that and assume that this is a rotation, because this is quite unseen. Yeah, you don't see that very often in terms of entire market dying on one coin just pumping. Jesus Christ. You even fucking look at the book, it just disappears. May have missed, but views on Ondo. Bought for a break, came back range, not hit cut level. Wonder if I should play the range high-low swings. 5 seconds best for spaghetti? Yeah, it's up to you really. I look at the 1 second and the 5 second really the most, like anywhere between 1 and 15, to be honest. It depends on the day and the volatility, and it's just something that you get used to trying to gauge. Ondo's been on my radar for ages, and to be honest with you, I tried the breakout before. Just got thoroughly round tripped because this is yeah, not the best. Yeah, so like looking at this, it's I don't even need to like redraw it. Do you know what I mean? I just need to fucking drag it along. Like it's just sat in that range. And I think when it goes, it will go, and it will be a really strong mover. On the assumption that the rest of the market is going upwards, obviously, it's unlikely to break by itself. But really, it's just not particularly interesting now. What do you think of ENA as far as relative strength? I've actually missed ENA completely. Like, this is what I mean. I've been a bit switched off from the market like lately. And just it's not switched off. It's just I don't want to trade every day because the market conditions aren't as good as they were. Like, I'm just not that. Oh, we talked about it before in terms of originally it was this like you get these coins where typically like they can be new coins, they can be old coins as well. So especially if they're like leading into an event or they're just hyped, like they get a lot of the focus. Like I remember trading CHZ for a period of time during like World Cup, so we might get that kind of play again, particularly with CHZ. That might come back, so that's one for your radar for the Euros or whatever it is in terms of like sports. But yeah, there's no real thesis behind that other than it's sports, it's that kind of thing, and if you start seeing the lower time frame relative strength, you might get something like this again, which we definitely got, was it a year or 2 years ago? And I woke up and for 14 days straight, I was longing CHZ. I was just literally like, I woke up long CHZ. And it was just this pattern basically. And I'd basically wake up here. So I got really, really lucky. Like, I literally caught the lows basically every single day for 14 days straight. And I took the dick at the end. You know, I got stopped down here somewhere, or equivalent. But yeah, this is, you know, not particularly exciting. It's that kind of big booty pattern that Magus talks about a lot in his streams. If you're not following him, go check him out. But the big booty pattern is just like literally, you get that initial, we don't have to even have the initial run, you just have this like sell off, and you get this like big booty pattern of just sell off, sell off, sell off, and it's just like a very slow ship, like an oil tanker turning, and you get that strength. I wouldn't be super surprised to see a new coin be like, you know, running the show and running the shit out of it. To be honest with you, that's quite similar to the near setup that we did last week and talked about earlier on stream. But I haven't really monitored it from a relative strength point of view. So it's difficult because I get a lot of my insight into the market by looking at this. You know, and relative strength here. And like what this is telling me is that it is actually quite high beta, so it's probably pretty reasonable to trade. So beta works both ways, right? Remember that like you want something that does that when Bitcoin does this. Yeah? You want something that actually moves, and the more it moves, the kind of better it is. So yeah, I mean let's have a little look. Slightly higher time frame. Yeah, not really on there. The lower time frame. Oh yeah, no, it is. Sorry, it's down here. Pretty brutal sell-off. So yeah, if you get that reversion play, then could be quite nice. Just gave a follow. No crack on that baby. Cheers, Jingo. Thanks for that. You're right. I should have drawn the crack. My apologies. My artistic skills have been wavering as of late. What do I think about Kaz? Nothing, mate. Nothing. Don't think nothing about Kaz. It's on my list, but probably because someone asked me to chart it at some point. But this is one of those coins that I've literally never heard of, and it just went a billion X. Yeah, it's standard. That's not too bad. But yeah, I mean, like with any of these things, and I'll preach the same thing again and again and again. Like, I like strength. I want to see strength. I would rather miss the first part of the move, with the expression being, I'd rather turn up late to the right party than arrive early at the wrong one. And that's what I feel like a lot of people do generally in trading, and all the knife catchers, fucking brilliant. Wee, I got the Pico bottom long. Yeah, good for you, mate. How many times did you get fucked before you caught that? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just no real strength here. Like, there's no change in market structure. There's nothing to be particularly bullish about. Like, huge capitulation. You can argue that, like, this downside price action is starting to get a little bit stronger in terms of, like, relative strength. So, you know, we talked about being above the 50 RSI earlier, and you know, that tends to be where you get, you know, the bullish price action. But really, like, you're in a high time frame downtrend. High time frame market structure hasn't really changed. You know, on the 4 hour, we're starting to change it, but I don't know. You're stabbing at a bottom here, in my opinion. You know, if you start breaking out of the downtrend and start putting some structure in outside of it, great. But until that starts happening, not that fast. I'm getting cooked on pups, trying for Bitcoin beta. Asked Doc about it and he just said $20 kind of knack. I nearly put pubes. I'm gonna guess. Is this it? What the fuck is that? Is this it? Pups. Looks fucking beautiful. Sadly, well, you said $20? Yeah, I think $20 is generous, mate. I think he's put a 0 on the end of that. Sorry, brother. I've just ruined your fucking day, haven't I? It looked great at $45. Yeah, that's fair, mate. I think Seabot's about to fly, small cap. I had a bag of Seabot. I think I might still have it somewhere. These diesel power. We just looked at TRB, mate, but I will do TRB and then I will go. Yeah, I've drawn it in there just for you. But, you know, I will preach it again and again and again and again and again that I like buying strength, and I would rather buy most of these coins, even though this pups is... I'm not sure why I'm guessing it's just because it's so fucking illiquid that you know, that I do not want to buy something that is in a 4-hour straight fucking line down. You can start seeing like little divergences, but it is not pretty. So if you've got like a big capitulation wick and then something like that, maybe. But the reality is that that's just down only. But do you see what I mean, guys? Do you see how I try and think of things? Like, I want to always be catching that there. That's me. That's where Charlie does business. Not here. I'll probably end up doing a bit here, to be honest. You know, when that trend changes, I sell my positions. I get stopped against my will. I might have a little scalp down at the lows because, you know, when you have the huge sell-off, you have those huge volume candles, and you have a nice little bit of spaghetti run up, I'll try it on like usually a 10th size, maybe a 5th, depending on conditions and all that kind of stuff. Like, they can offer really, really good entries. So I might trade a little bit down here, but that's kind of intraday, very low time frame rotations. That's just kind of for my eyes only. That's, you know, me trading. And then I will capture hopefully the meat of the move. And I probably won't get stopped there, to be honest. What I will do is I'll have the consolidation, and then, like I said, I'll get stopped there. But that's what I want to capture, right? So this here, yeah, not great. Sorry, brother. We will finish on TRB because I said we would. You know, it's very, very strong. Very, very strong. Well, I said if I was playing a low time frame rotation, that V recovery there, really, really nice. Don't know what's going on with the rest of the market. Oh, it looks okay. Sorry, that's okay. No, it's dropping up a bit. But yeah, I mean, TRB has just been wild the last few days, like absolutely wild. Like, it's just been up only. So yeah, you get a lot of this. Get a lot of consolidation, absolute nothing, and then just bosh, off it goes. You're not likely to get that here, I don't think. Like, if anything, you know, there's going to be a divergence across these highs. So just to mark it out for you if you don't know what divergence is. It's where price is making a higher high, and like momentum oscillators, particularly RSI or the Awesome Oscillator, which is what these two are making lower highs. So that's a high, that's a lower high. Your price doing this, and momentum doing that. So prices are going up, but on waning momentum. So you can kind of expect a pullback. Is all that suggests. And we've started to have that, right? Started to have that. See that here. But it would be interesting to go like into the depth of that candle and see what actually happened. But yeah, kind of nice recovery. I'd play it for intraday rotations, but I'm not going to buy a fucking spot bag of TRB up here. Do you know what I mean? It'd be funny if it ran again, like absolute beast. Like, I cannot believe it at $500. I still cannot. But yeah, that's TRB. So, what's left for me to say? Not a lot. I've done the giveaway. I will ping that out this evening. Yeah, just chill out, everybody. Take some time, learn some things, code some stuff up, have a look through like my TradingView scripts, have a look through some of my old education videos on YouTube. If you've got any questions or whatever, just shout. Or if you want to see particular content on something, just let me know, and I'll probably record some videos actually. Tensor. Yeah. I kind of want to grab some spot of this. I've not yet. For like a rotational play, but alas, nothing yet. I wish the dollar would appreciate against the pound once more. So, because cashing out crypto, I cashed some out up here. And it was fucking lovely. Getting basically parity for your dollars to pounds. That was incredible. But yeah, just take it steady. Do some research. Learn some stuff. Trade some stuff up. Systemize. You know, I'm not saying don't trade. I think there's probably two views on it, which is one, focus on trading easy conditions, but two, you can use these conditions to work up statistics and take a lot of trades on like a low time frame rotational basis. So, you know, go down to the 1 minute. What the hell is that? Go down to the 1 minute, take a load of trades on a 1 minute chart with just $100 or $5 or whatever is a small amount of money to you account, and just learn, just practice, just, you know, is this a good trade? Yes, no, why? Is this a good trade? Yes, no, why? Is this a good trade? You know, not just with the benefit of hindsight. Like, you're longing price nowhere. Like, yeah, difficult. And just use it productively. And of course, liking every single one of my tweets on Twitter and doing that kind of crap. We've been going for an hour and 10 minutes. Feel like I've achieved a lot. Feel like I've given you a few plans. Feel like I've done alright. The entire market's slowing down in terms of new capital coming in. Nice little divergence at this high. But no real reason to, you know, massively change perspective in terms of, I think it's still a bull market. I think we're still going to go up and to the right. I just think maybe we get a little pullback first. If we do, great, we buy lower. And if we just get this, you know, and we get that move to, you know, kind of 70k, I think FOMO really kicks back in, and we just get that move, we blast through range highs, and we go to that next leg of the market. But be patient, don't blow it all on leverage, manage your risk, and more importantly, have a good week. I will love you and leave you. Au revoir.